Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Normal One TV with your boy Tony. Now I haven't done a video in a while actually, because I suppose the World Cup is on, and that puts a real spanner in the works with anything to do with clubs, Liverpool FC, transfers. Obviously we're right now in silly season called the transfer window, right? So there's a lot of talk, gossip and rumours, head losses, bombers, you name it, it's silly season, right? So I wanted to do a quick video based on what's happened in the last sort of 24 hours. But before I get into that, please like, share, subscribe and comment onto the channel. It'll help me out massively in terms of just getting eyes on the channel really, and your comments are valuable. I don't really get many, if not at all in some cases, but okay, that is what it is. It's all good, but a little bit of interaction would be really good, guys, if you don't mind. Not many subscribers as well, and maybe you're not hitting the right spot, who knows, but I hope that the ones that are listening to my sort of thoughts and feelings and interactions are getting what they want to get out of it. So the ones that I do, thank you so much, and I really do appreciate you kind of tuning in, and they are my loyal guys, to be honest, and they are very close to my heart. So thank you guys, and anybody that's coming in new, please, as I said, just drop a sort of like or a comment, whatever the case is, and yeah, let's see what we can do. So what do I want to talk about? What shall we talk about? Let's talk about the bomber, supposedly, about Diomande agreeing a 5-year contract with PSG. Now I read the sort of statement that came out from Ornstein, I think it kicked off from, and then Fabrizio Romano, that bell end, he then obviously Tapping Merchant then said his piece in a slightly different way. But what struck me was, there's two things actually, was the reaction of, I suppose, the group that I'm in. It was almost instantaneous, and the reaction to other fan channels that are out there when they saw this. And the problem I have with the statement is it leaves a door open to suggest that if something doesn't work out with Diamond against PSG, there's a way out for them, because there's words if, believe, and there's nothing ironclad. Now I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. What I am saying is that until that player is holding up the shirt, signed the contract, and told the whole world where he's going, nothing's actually happening. Now, the other thing you have to remember as well, or have to bear in mind is that all these players, if they are in negotiation with other clubs, their personal terms would have been already agreed. That means to say that it's then down to the clubs to thrash out what they deem is necessary or accepting of the transfer fee. So in this case, I bet you that Liverpool have agreed personal terms with Diomande, and so is PSG, and any other club that they also want to put their hat into the ring. But what hasn't been agreed, and this is where everybody falls down, is the fact that RB Leipzig has not accepted any bid so far from either Liverpool or PSG. Now that could be that things might start to snowball us a little bit because PSG have sold a couple of players, for instance, and got that money to kind of spend, for instance. Also, it could be a ploy where his agent may have sort of said, well, this is probably a bit too slow for our client. Let's generate some interest here, and let's see if we can get Liverpool to manoeuvre and put another bid in. Because as far as we know, there's been 2 bids in, right? Supposedly. So my point I'm trying to make is that these things are agreed all the way through, so that when it does come to the fact that a bid is accepted, that the club can move quite quickly in getting all the sort of finer details done, i.e. the contract signing and medical, all that kind of stuff. So we've not seen anything to do about a medical, we've seen no contract essentially signed, and we've seen no bid accepted. There's talk on that same statement that there was a 5-year contract agreed. Well, we've probably got a 6-year contract in the table agreed. But Liverpool, being what they tend to do, is keep things close to their chest. So probably things are already going on behind the scenes. Now, is he the right player for us? That's another question in itself, and probably another topic of discussion. But what I really don't like is just the reaction that everybody loses their freaking minds. You know, I saw fan channels literally just coming up one after the other, just completely just reacting to this news. And I don't trust these journalists as far as I can throw them. Don't get me wrong, there are a good couple of credible ones out there that potentially got to listen to or see what they say and get a good feel of things. But in the main, it's all driven to drive traffic. And also this is what some of these content creators do as well. They do it to drive traffic. You know, create a bit of shit or say something out the top of your head and everybody goes crazy. My point here, what I was trying to tell you guys, is don't lose your minds. Now, if it does transpire that he does sign and there's an announcement about it, well, so good. Who cares? Let's move on to the next one. It's just a player. I mean, okay, yes, we want him to be part of a new signing and he looks quite exciting and all the rest of it, and he's done really well in the World Cup. I get all of that. But who gives a fuck? If he signs, great. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Move on with it. You know, that's life. That's football. That's how it goes on. But not this stupidity where we're just like, oh well, fuck him then. Let's say, you let him do what he's got to do, or you didn't want him in the first place, or all this kind of crap. Let things play as they are, and it does fuck up here all the time. It drives us mad. And then next thing you know, there's arguments of Liverpool fan versus Liverpool fan saying, well, I told you so, or I did tell you this, and it gets messy, and it just fucks with you mentally. And you know what my channel's about. Don't let it fuck you up here, man. Just relax. Everything will sort itself out one way or the other. And then the funny thing is, straight after that, it was a case of, oh, Liverpool's diverted their attention to Barcola now, and another player that I can't that's escaped me to be fair. It was almost like just to kind of diffuse the situation. And I think now there's been sort of talk that nothing is really kind of happening, or there's just, we are not out of the race, so to speak. It doesn't really make sense at this moment in time. All we know is that Liverpool are interested. They've supposedly put a couple of bids in. It's been rejected. So far, PSG hasn't done anything in terms of a bid. Supposedly, Diomande has chosen where he wants to go. And actually, the statement said something like, if he was to move this summer, then the preference would be PSG. If. Key word there, if. He could stay another year at Leipzig, for all we know. So he's got 3 choices essentially on the table, and we don't know what's actually happening yet. So until I see that player photographed, signing a contract with said club, and holding up that shirt, nothing's happened. So my message to you guys: chill, relax. You know what I mean? This weather's getting people hot and sweating, all hot and bothered. Don't, man. Don't. It's not worth it. It really isn't worth it. Yes, this is a topic of discussion in terms of, this has been put out, what do people think, but not to lose your absolute fucking minds over it. No need for that. And especially when you've got twats like Fabrizio Romano that tends to, his content's based around controversy and heightened expectation or heightened excitement and all this kind of nonsense. The guy's an absolute twat. Talks like a twat as well. And don't get me wrong, when he does put the information out there that is correct, then fair. Call a spade. But don't let that twat lose your head. Honestly, guys, use a bit of. You're all smart people. Read what's in front of you. We all know. For example, if we're watching the news, for example, and then you talk about politics. All these guys talk absolutely load of shit, but it's all there and designed to make you think or react. No need to. Just smell the shit from a mile away, and you'll decipher it for yourself. So hopefully Diomande comes along and signs for us, but if he doesn't, he just doesn't. But I will say that I think perhaps we might see something, certainly in the coming days, as a probably a reaction to this news being put out. My gut feeling is probably it's tactical from the agents to kind of get Liverpool moving and get something sorted for their client, and quite rightly so. So I think perhaps he does want to get his future sorted out, whether that looks like while he's obviously representing the Ivory Coast in the World Cup, and his agent's got some work to do, and perhaps it's not happening quick enough as he would like. And I think this is just a thing to get things going. And we've got to see what happens. And like Dunkwater says, why are we seeing this, and who does it benefit? Why are we seeing this? Who's it benefiting right now? Now, as I said, it could be the kick up the arse that Liverpool need to action something here. And maybe Liverpool are working hard to understand what is going to be needed to get this over the line, and probably talk to Leipzig about it. That's all I can say, because it's a bit weird that it really cranked up that we put a bid in and the second was rejected quite quickly and all this kind of stuff. That moved quite fast, and then it slowed down, went really quiet. And that just, again, that tells me that there's obviously some work for them to do. They probably know what's needed, and they probably know they're trying to negotiate what they can and can't do. And that's where we are. So until we get told different, it's still as is, still business as usual. But it's certainly ramping up now, and PSG are moving in terms of the transfers they want to do, and like any other sort of club, they're trying to sort themselves out. So I, for one, just want our business done swiftly and quickly as possible, so that when these guys have completed the World Cup and the pre-season starts, all the players that Iraola wants is there, and he can start doing the real work, so that we can go into the season fully prepared. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it, guys. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Am I talking shit? Am I just way off my rocker? I don't know. I'd like to hear from you. So yeah. So guys, as I said, this system get you switched into some lunatic. Not good for the mind. No need to get stressed. It's not all about that. There used to be a time way back when, well, we had no idea about transfers. But now we're seeing bollocks like I don't know, throwing coach or a set piece coach is going to be going somewhere, and they're talking about the monetary value of that. And who gives a fuck about that? That's down to the hierarchy and then the sporting directors and all the people that organise these contracts and why are we getting involved? Why do we care about how much money they spent? It's their money. They've got to make sure that they look after our club properly. That's all we care about. And all we actually really care about is that making sure that we have the right team to go and mount a challenge next season for the title and all the other trophies that are out there. That's all we really care about. And seeing some good football. Why do we have to be the first to kind of break a story all the time and say, I fucking told you so, or I was right. Who cares, man? Who absolutely cares? Let's get back to basics here, right? We just want to watch good football. We want our team to do well, and we want some good players. We want some exciting players. We want to, go into next season full of optimism. That's what let the agents and the hierarchy and whoever else got to sort out the technicalities of it. It's not our bag. We're not employed to do so. We're there to consume it. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. I'll try and think about something else to talk about. Well, hopefully we make some sign-ins, and that'll be something I could do more videos on. But listen, guys, thank you for listening. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. But as always, you never walk alone.